Welcome back to the Don McKay Show here on RadioOnFire.com, the Radio on Fire Broadcast Network. Thank you for joining me. A lot of things here on my desk, a lot of things to get into. This is going to be a jam-packed show. Of course, if you want to advertise on any of the shows here at Radio on Fire, you can advertise your product, service, or upcoming event on the Radio on Fire Broadcasting Network, reaching over 350,000 people per month with our content. Get your message in front of the audience you need with targeted social media posts, commercials, on-air mentions, giveaways, and more. RadioOnFire.com/promo for details. So there is this pastor that just has had the internet on fire. Should he step down? That's what I want to know. Should Pastor David E. Wilson step down? A viral video was posted midweek, allegedly featuring this pastor, David E. Wilson, performing fellatio on a woman. It's made its rounds through social media and doing what it does. The Texarkana, Texas preacher. Texarkana is a very small city in eastern Texas, right near the border of Arkansas. He's been preaching for 40 years, he says. And this pastor leads the Bible Way Ministries and the World Outreach, Inc. Says that he's not sure why this sex tape was made public. In the video, he is allegedly seen going down on a woman. And by all accounts, this woman is not his wife. Okay? And the man in the video looks like Pastor Wilson. Look on his social media posts. Looks very similar. Okay. At one point, he looks at the camera phone that's recording him, seemingly not even concerned about the potential risk being taped, provided to his professional and private life. As I said, he is married. Social media has been buzzing about the good pastor with jokes and memes associated with a viral sensation. These things happen. Pastor David Wilson says that he is a motivator who loves to see lives transformed to the glory of God. So if this was your pastor, this was the pastor of your church, would you, and this came out, would you leave this church? Would you? And let me say this is not the first Texas-based pastor to become embroiled in a sex scandal. Earlier this year, February this year to be exact, the Christian Post reported that Pastor Joshua Holmes had been in a sex tape with multiple women. And he's based in Kennydale, Texas, which is just outside of Dallas. And that scandal erupted. But as I said, after this kind of scandal, should Pastor David E. Wilson close his church? Should he step down? I mean, will people still follow a controversial man of God? Many times they do. But why? Usually it's, speculation. Maybe a baby came. But the actual video, actual graphics of this so-called man of God? Why do people of so-called faith accept this kind of behavior from their leaders? And I know people are going to say, he's not perfect. Ye who is without sin, cast the stone. I know they're going to say that. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not standing in front of a church trying to give spiritual guidance to somebody, right? But would you go consistently to someone who's unemployed trying to get advice from them on how to get a job? Would it be better to get advice from someone who is working, right? How are you going to get spiritual guidance from a man who we can clearly see needs spiritual guidance himself? Well, it's crazy. But would you leave this church if this was your pastor? I definitely want people to let me know. I like to hear people's thoughts on that. Also, get ready. The biggest old school holiday party of the Thanksgiving weekend is going down at the Radisson Hotel Saturday, November the 30th from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Tickets go on sale October 23rd, so get ready for that. Check out this lineup. Music by DJ Kenny K, DJ Scotty B, DJ Rod Lee, DJ Angelo, DJ Deke, and yours truly, Diamond K, will all be on the 1 and 2s, on the turntables, doing what we do. It's going to be a amazing night, as I said, holiday party, old school, and a family reunion party. Teachers and Parks and Recreations appreciation party. It is going down, I'm telling you. Tickets are going to be available, of course, at M&K Music Warehouse, Security Mall, Marshall's Music, all in his hands barbershop. No Limit Communications. Room rates only $84. Advanced tickets are going to be $25. So that's going to be big. That's going to be big. And as I said, that is Thanksgiving weekend. So we're going to be talking a lot more about that big event. Also, the Radio on Fire News Network app for Apple and Android, that's coming soon. RadioOnFire.com/app. That is supposed to be launching in a few weeks. You'll be able to take us with you on the go. Get Radio on Fire podcasts, live streams, merch, and member content right to your pocket. So that's big right there. That's big. And as I said, for the Apple and Android devices. So you can, keep up with everything that's going on. Speaking of keeping up with everything that's going on, the first 90 days of the Baltimore crime plan. What are we talking about? Of course, Baltimore Police Commissioner Michael Harrison was on the C4 show this morning on WBAL to discuss the first 90 days of his crime plan. And I almost said controversial crime plan because people have a lot of problems with the plan, right? But if you remember here in Baltimore, back in July, Harrison revealed both a short and long-term plan that he hopes will reduce crime in the city of Baltimore.
We have redesigned our CompStat, which is our accountability tool, which in my plan I said I'd do. So we've delivered on that promise, but it's still going to evolve to an even more robust CompStat so that we can audit the work we do, so we can know that when we tell officers to be somewhere, that they're actually there, that when they say they're on a foot patrol, on a business check, on a vehicle stop, whatever, that we can audit that and know that that has actually happened. And then we have community feedback built into it.
And he's also trying to, within the police department, make some changes, like implement some good, which it desperately needs if anybody's been paying attention. Now, it has been 90 days since the release of this plan. And Harris said, quote, "We believe we're moving in the right direction."
And so while you still see individuals committing bad acts, that's a culture that has to be changed. That's decisions they're making. And while many of them, the police officers were right there in the block.
Right.
For example, we had homicide detectives working on a homicide, investigating. They were inside of a store, and the shooting happened right outside of the store while they were right there. So we have to change the culture of why people are making those bad decisions. To answer your question, we are moving in the right direction. We can now know things that 3 months ago we didn't know.
That's what he said. And, we've talked about him frequently here. I'm giving him a chance. He has not been in his position that long, and he's trying to make some bold changes. Now, there are a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot of people that he has to work with, and I just want to make sure that we don't judge him too quickly. But let's listen more from the words, from his mouth, right? Let's listen to Baltimore's top cop. This is Commissioner Michael Harris.
We can now account for where our officers are, what they're doing, if they're doing it correctly, and what's being done about it when they don't do it. Because we've changed the CompStat process. Even though we don't have the new technology yet, with the technology we have, we were able to do that. What we're seeing with the deployment strategy is early signs of displacement. It's not yet ready to celebrate. What we're seeing is many of the shootings and homicides that were occurring in the traditional blocks and areas where they had been over the 5-year period that we did the research, we've now shifted that somewhat away.
He also added that there are early signs of displacement of crime out of the traditional areas that such acts are committed through, right? What is he saying? He's trying to say in areas where crime normally happens, it's been going down a little bit. That's what he's saying. Maybe, this was, a spot where things happen, right? This was an area where stuff was going on, and maybe they moved across the street, and we're saying, so it's safer right there where it used to be, right? I don't know. When you speak like that, it's kind of like politician talk almost. You know what I mean? It's like if this was a strip, you know what I mean? This was the trap, still the trap, but now because you have frequent patrol in this area, now they're not right there; they're over here. So crime has gone down. Crime hasn't gone down like that. You know what I mean? But of course, he says that they're not satisfied. He wants more done. And okay, so he also talked about retention. He was asked about retention. What do we mean here? Turnover. People that are leaving the actual job of police, because one of the big, hiccups that the FOP has with his crime plan is that they said that there's not enough people to implement what you want to do. There are not enough officers working to do the stuff that you want done. So we're talking about how can the police department retain officers? You know what I mean? You got a lot of different factors for them leaving, either by force or by choice, or they just aged out. Harrison said that turnover is outpacing hiring, right? More people are leaving than they're bringing on. But he said that the majority of those leaving are retiring. I don't know how many older officers do we have? Like at a certain point, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. But he did point out that since starting in his position, that the rate is down to 16 people leaving a month. And he said that in past years, it had been 19 people each month. Past years. So we don't know when these figures are from that he's saying, the 19, right? 3. What does that mean? Does that mean that all of the older people have gone? Does that mean what? What does that mean? Why are they leaving? Why don't they want to be associated with the Baltimore Police Department? These are things that we have to figure out if we're going to determine that he is doing a good job, right? These are things that questions that we would have to ask when making that assessment. When prompted about salary and overtime, The commissioner told C4 that the department has addressed issues in overtime and brought down overtime through accountability of the officers and supervisors as well. What does that mean? So if we have less officers, if we don't have all our spaces filled, then we need to have overtime. But that overtime needs to be done the regular way that anybody else does it. At your job, if you do overtime, they expect you to be there. It's very simple. It's not that they shouldn't be doing overtime. It's that they should not be doing overtime and not being there. You know, a lot of these guys were getting overtime, but they weren't even working. You know what I mean? You can't do that at your job. I can't do that here. But one thing about Commissioner Harrison, he's very political. He says a lot of the right things. One of the main concerns for Harrison's plan is that there's not enough officers to complete these goals. Right? How are they going to police the micro zones? And he had an answer for that. And he said this, quote, "We do have a lot of bodies, but we are short several hundred officers. And then we have roughly 150 or more, almost 200, who are injured and on limited duty." This is probably something that you didn't know. Almost 200 officers who are injured. So they are just home chilling? Limited duty means they sit at a desk somewhere? What? What is going on? They sit at their desk, at their computer, playing Fortnite? What's happening here? A lot of people didn't know that. Over 150, almost 200 officers on limited duty. But he agrees that they need more officers, and they have a plan, and they have a strategy. So we're going to talk also, when he was asked about the surveillance plane, we're going to talk about that right after this. Get ready for the biggest old school holiday party of the Thanksgiving weekend going down at the Radisson Hotel Saturday, November the 30th from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Tickets go on sale for this mega event on October the 23rd. Music, check out this lineup. DJ Kenny K, DJ Scotty B, DJ Sean Marshall, DJ Rod Lee, DJ Angelo, DJ Deke, and yours truly, Diamond K, all on the ones and twos for the DJ Kenny K old school holiday and family reunion party going down at the Radisson Hotel. Advance tickets are $25. This is going to be a mega event. So, of course, we're talking about Commissioner Michael Harrison, the Baltimore Police Commissioner, who was asked about the surveillance plane and why he would not try the controversial surveillance plane, even for a short period of time, considering that they are short on officers. Harrison said this.
But I have not told anybody that they can't fly their plane. Their plane's in the sky right now. What I told them is that because they came out without me and without the city and without the leadership and touted how they're going to reduce the murder by 20 to 30% in a very unscientific and very flawed statistical way, I cannot endorse that. I would be endorsing something that was calculated wrong.
Okay.
I cannot ask for it and I can't endorse it, but I didn't tell them they couldn't fly. And if anybody, because I need every tool in the toolbox, and if they have data that they would give to us, I would certainly use it. What I am saying is that I can't back something that is untested.
If they were to give you, Commissioner, whatever they accumulate, you could coordinate that with the CTV cameras on the ground. You would utilize it if they were to give it to you. I could
utilize that if they were to give it to me. I think I'm being asked to commit to the program that they have advertised in the way they have done it. I cannot endorse it, and I can't ask for it. I was actually hired because I was an evidence-based police chief.
All in all, I thought that C4 did a good interview. Of course, WBAL. Harrison committed to coming back in 6 months to review the developments of his crime plan once again. And he's been out there talking about these things, answering some of the hard questions, sitting on a hot seat. I mean, people take the policing and their community very serious. So this is something that people are passionate about. And I understand that, and I'm sure that he understands it as well. All my interactions with him have been very positive. He seems like a good guy. It seems like his mind is on the mission. And his mission is to help clean up the city. So we're going to give him a chance to do that. I just don't want the bureaucracy, the red tape, people working against him because maybe they didn't want him in the position. Maybe they wanted the position, and they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that it doesn't work for him, because that hurts everybody. We don't need that. Of course, just tuning in, you listen to the Diamond K Show here on the Radio on Fire Broadcast Network. Of course, I am here 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, but you can catch up on past episodes. Stay on the ball with what we got going on. RadioonFire.com/DiamondK. I've also been interviewing all of the candidates running for major office here in Baltimore for the 2020 election. So you can catch up on that as well. We're doing mayors, the candidates for the mayoral election. I've been sitting down with Democrats and Republicans and talking about their plans for the city. So RadioonFire.com/DiamondK. Catch up on all of that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, the like button, however you are seeing or hearing this, to stay tuned with what we got. And we are trying to continue to bring the urban community the news that is relevant to them, and also from a perspective that does not demonize the hood. Hood's important. But more importantly, we are trying to relay things from the perspective that they really are. Not spinning it, not doing anything that mainstream media does, but this is independent media giving you the real deal of what's going on. Last story here, and this was a sad one when this happened, but it looks like it has come to a conclusion, some type of an end. Man gets 75 years in Taylor Hayes killing. Baltimore City judge sentenced the man convicted in the shooting death of this 7-year-old girl to 75 years. The jury convicted Keon Gray, 30 years old, of second-degree murder and other charges related to this 2018 shooting. Taylor was sitting in the back seat of a passing car in Southwest Baltimore. Taylor died 2 weeks after the shooting, 7 years old, as I said. Gray was also found guilty of first-degree assault against the two adults in the car. Prosecutors were seeking 165 years in prison. A lot of times people will say, well, 165 years, he's 30 years old. What are you doing? But the Baltimore City State's Attorney, Marilyn Mosby, said via a statement, "For those who think they can take a life without any repercussions, let today serve as a reminder that we will be relentless in our efforts to effectively prosecute these cases and recommend the stiffest possible sentences as we seek to ensure justice is served." As I said, that was Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby. Testimony in this sentence indicated that Gray and the driver of the vehicle, Taylor, was in sideswiped each other, and the dispute led to a shootout. The judge said that Gray made the streets of Baltimore a killing zone by shooting into the vehicle, and said that he is responsible for the choices that he made that day. His attorney plans to appeal. I don't know. I mean, I think that's the normal thing the attorney's going to do. But I don't know how this is going to work out for him. He had no obvious reaction to the sentencing, and the family of little Taylor was allowed to leave the courtroom before everybody else. Someone in the courtroom, probably related to Gray, wept as the judge sentenced him. It's just the end of a very sad situation. Here in Baltimore, it's just it was a very highly publicized case, if you remember. But there's no real solution for the family. They're just going to try to just keep moving forward, but they're not going to ever get past the loss of this young girl and the losses so many people face in cities all across the country. Sad. But you listen to the Diamond K Show. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow. If you're tired of mainstream media misrepresenting the truth, then continue to listen to Radio on Fire Broadcast Network. We are the voice of urban America. And, of course, it's been Diamond K. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for joining me once again. New episodes drop Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. on radioonfire.com, of course, on YouTube, and our many other digital partners. I have music in the Apple iTunes Store, Tidal, Spotify, anywhere that you can stream music. Search Diamond K. A lot of music out there, so definitely check that out on Amazon as well. But thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys next time.